Hi everybody, it's Peter Zellum's Griniflix Adventure 8 and welcome to another video. Today's video is about adventure cameras, vlogging cameras, and specifically the Leica Q2. And the example I'm using today is the Leica Q2 reporter. I'm going to continue to see whether the Q2 can actually replace some of my adventure cameras, my vlogging cameras, and be my go-to camera or backup camera, whatever, to the different photography, video scenarios that I might have. So the setup I've got today, I'm in my studio, my Griniflix Adventure 8 studio, and I've set up the Q2 completely manually. It can be fully automatic or partly automatic or any combination of automatic and manual, or fully manual. So I've gone fully manual this time. I've been using the Q2, I suppose probably about 6 months or maybe longer, and in different scenarios, often in the automatic function when I didn't necessarily want to use fully manual on some of my Leica M cameras and the manual lenses that I have for the M cameras. So this is a fixed lens, 28mm f1.7 aperture on the lens, and so I'm shooting at 1.7. I've got manual focus set at 45 centimeters, which is about arm's length. Even the white balance I've set to 5000 degrees Kelvin because I'm using these sort of photographic lights. The shutter speed is 60th of a second. The ISO is set at 50. I wanted a vlogging camera that could give me a really shallow depth of field because the GoPro doesn't do that. My other adventure cameras, like Nikon 300, W300 doesn't do that. The iPhone, yes, you could sort of do that with some software manipulation, but it doesn't do that. So that's the first observation, is that particularly in the studio, I'm better off just going fully manual to give me the effect that I want. What I have found with the automatic settings, and this goes for any camera, is that you're relying on the automatic settings knowing exactly what you want and what sort of effect that you want. And inevitably, something doesn't quite work. The Q2 automatic focus, it does struggle sometimes to work out whether you're the subject or whether it's the background. And so manual is often the best way to go when it comes to vlogging. Okay, slight refinement. I'll try 0.5 meters. I guess everyone's got to sort of work this out. If you're going to go manual, then work out, what is the ideal hand position for vlogging and for selfies with the 28mm lens. So that's 0.5, and I've sort of got a comfortable arm position right now, so like that. And so if I move forward like this, I'm going to be out of focus, I presume. And if I go back a little bit, am I still out of focus or in focus? So probably a comfortable position's about there. 0.5 meters is it. The next setting is I've changed the lighting settings, so I've reduced the exposure. I'm down to 1/30th of a second shutter speed, which should be quite nice, I suspect. It'd be interesting to see how that works with my lighting, my fluoro lighting in here. If I turn that on, so that's my lighting in the bathroom. And then my lighting here, and also coming out of the lights, my lighting is here. So I've got some natural light there plus the fluorescent lighting. Alright, so now I'm using the camera looking around with this exposure setting. So all my exposure settings are still set to manual, but I've gone to automatic focus. I haven't gone to automatic continuous. This is automatic single. So that means I've got control over what I actually want to focus on, and I can change that focus quite quickly just by pressing down the shutter release halfway, and then that changes my focal point, which is great. So if I'm filming, then I can do that quite easily for this scenario. This combination of 1.7, my fluorescent lights and my ambient light coming in, seems to be quite good. Okay, so now we've changed to continuous autofocus. and we'll see how well it sort of handles that situation. The speed of the change of autofocus, I haven't sort of worked out how to actually change that on the Q2. If there is a way of doing that, I will update this video. Right now I'm relying on the camera sort of to work out over a period of time where that focus is. Now, can I get it to do that quicker? Yes, you can, just by pressing down the shutter release button, and then it can actually do that change very quickly. But does that actually change the exposure? On the back of the screen it's showing that the exposure changes momentarily. Alright, we'll see what it looks like in the video. On the back of the screen it seems as if the exposure's changed. Got a lot of wind around the place. I suspect we're going to have wind noise. Yeah, that's definitely a challenge. And we'll see what happens when I walk out into the night. How usable is this video with the different contrasts, different lighting situations and different wind situations. So this level of wind, as I'm speaking right now, will be unusable audio. Yes, well, the audio on the beach is unusable. As soon as there's a strong wind, the wind interference is just too much. I'll finish off the video with some video that was taken with the Q2 and some of the stills that I took during a bushwalk of the headland and surrounding areas. The video is good as long as you're not too far from the subject. You can crop down to 75mm and so your detail diminishes obviously at 75mm because you're cropping into the sensor rather than having the full sensor. But at least you can still capture some of the videos. The stills are taken at 28mm, and the same thing, you can crop inside the camera as you're taking the shot to 75mm, or you can do that in post-processing. The result is much the same. All right, well, I think that's it. As far as conclusion is concerned, I'm going to continue to use the Q2 as a vlogging camera together with my GoPro and together with my iPhone, and using some remote mics like the DJI remote mics that I have. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then give it a thumbs up, really appreciate it. If it's the first time to my channel, then please do subscribe, press notifications, and you'll be notified when the next video is out. Enjoy the slideshow, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers, bye.